it's not being so worried about what you think. Speak your mind.
Yeah.
But are you reaching the person that you want to reach, and are they hearing it the way that you want to hear it?
So we're back with season 2 of Sunken Press, and we have Mike Lemons. Wow,
Cory, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. First, to all the WLCA alumni out there, Johnny has an IQ of 170, but he can't read. The words are jumbled, upside down, mirrored. Johnny has dyslexia, a learning disability.
He's gonna do the whole thing.
No, I won't. I will not do the whole thing. Okay, but the joke there, Nicole, is
I don't know. I'm out of the loop.
you have to memorize this script and deliver it in a certain amount of time.
Well, and you not necessarily memorize. Just there's many mistakes in there. We over practice with articulation and pronunciation, so it's being able to do it without any flaws.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's really challenging. Yeah. The even the Midwestern accent, you want to say things like 10 instead of 10. Yeah, it's just you got to pronounce the G at the end of all the words.
I would be horrible at that. I really would.
No, you think that.
No,
but like
I
by
can't.
the end of it, you're
The practicing would probably kill me.
We always tell students, if you're here and we practice to hear, maybe that's where we get to hear. So that's kind of the idea. We don't necessarily want you speaking like that, but it's okay if you say because instead of because. If you can find a way to say that where it rolls off and it doesn't sound, robotic or stiff, then that's the goal.
Nice.
Yep. It was fun. So, are you still teaching kids, or?
No, I still do. I mean,
okay.
I've had several different positions over the years. So, same positions, but with added duties.
Okay.
So, I still run the radio program, still manage the station. It's not radio anymore, or digital streaming and broadcast media. My main job has always been the same as it was when you were there.
So let's bring it back though, because
Okay.
we didn't really introduce him or.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. For me and people like me, I'm not from the area.
Okay.
I didn't really I'm not going to, I've heard your name before, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit of how I've heard your name before this. But
scary.
I'm not, honestly, a huge radio listener myself, and I'm not from the area. So tell us a little bit, so other people who may not know.
So, Mike Lemons, I run what's now called the Digital Streaming and Broadcast Media Department at Lewis and Clark, once known as Radio Broadcasting. I teach courses within that program. We have a radio station that we manage that's been on since the early 70s, and it's 89.9 WLCA. Cory was a student of mine, 2007,
2007 to 2010.
So I do love that station, because when I had my old car and it was very old and it did not have Bluetooth capabilities, that's the only radio station I did listen to.
I think for the most part, as college radio goes, we've done a pretty good job at what we've done, and comparatively to other schools, I think we hold our own. Won a number of awards over the years, been nominated for national awards. Haven't won any, but many cases we're the only 2-year school nominated in any category. So
what led you into teaching?
Actually, I graduated from this same program. So I went through this program a long time ago. Went into work in radio and sales. I started in broadcast thinking I wanted to be a sports announcer. I did that for some time, but really ended up more and I did some on-air work, but I really ended up in the business side with sales, and then eventually some sales management. And then the position opened up when I was in my mid-20s. The first year I was passed over, didn't quite have the degree, nor did they really want to trust a 25-year-old in that role, I think. And then the person they hired didn't quite work out, so they called me back, and 31 years later.
Did you make them sweat a little bit? I don't know. I got so many options.
Well, the chance to go back and run the station where you went to school was kind of a dream. Did I ever think that I would be an educator? No, I didn't.
Wait, didn't you run the hip hop show too whenever you were on air?
I did when I was a student. When I was a student, we had a hip hop show.
Is it a hip-hop show?
Yeah. I did that show.
The Message?
It was called, no, when I had it, it was called Rock the House.
Okay.
But then after I started there, we had a show called The Message that Kev D hosted for years.
Years.
Yeah, probably our longest running. It's not running anymore, but our longest running show is a rap hip hop show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's basically
Okay,
me.
thank you. Thank
so
you.
so I noticed that it's not the radio broadcasting anymore. When did the digital aspect of it really hit? Like, when did the name change happen?
The name change happened 2 years ago.
Okay.
It wasn't really reflecting everything we were doing by calling it radio. Plus, the term radio broadcasting really wasn't resonating with potential students.
Right.
Because they weren't listening to radio. But we were already teaching podcasts. We were already doing audio production and video production. So it was just, the name really just kind of encompassed more of what we were doing, along with some enhancements, allowing students to take courses outside of our program, where before you wanted to take an audio editing or video editing course, you had to be in the program. Now you can get certificates to add on, to have a stackable credential in case, say, you go to automotive and you get a degree and you go get a job, then you turn around and say, oh, I can also create and edit media in my automotive job. So that's kind of the idea of opening up the program to people, because all of us are content creators at some point.
Yes.
So let us help you with that. We're fortunate to have great studios and fantastic equipment. So, yeah, that's...
I heard you moved to the Math and Science building out
We
of
did.
Phobes.
we were in Caldwell.
Oh, Caldwell.
Right. We
That's
moved
right.
out. So, to go back a little bit, our listenership has always kind of driven our program enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
And, 2017, 2018, we're starting to lose some enrollment, but our enrollment's not dipping as badly as the colleges had. So I thought, oh, we're good. We're okay. We knew we were losing listeners to streaming services, but we embraced that. It wasn't going anywhere. So we put out our top 30 on Spotify and our top list of the years. We it's not going anywhere, so why not embrace it? So we did that. And then it just got to where things just always took care of themselves, that I even took my eye off the ball a little bit on what we needed to do and change. My son got sick. So a year and a half, I was helping him battle a disease. We came back after he passed. COVID hit 3 months later.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. COVID hit 3 months later. And it's like, wow, this is perfect. Because now we still had people listening because we did concert ticket giveaways. We still did remote broadcast. COVID happens. That doesn't happen. Plus, we have students in their homes with bad internet connections and poor microphones trying to be on the air. So we aren't offering listeners anything special. So our listenership really tanked. So it was an eye-opener to go, okay, we need to make serious changes and they need to be massive. So one of them included a move to the science building, because when we came back from COVID, they had to move a lot of the classes out of that main complex because there was mold. Those rooms had sit empty. So we were the only ones over there. We built this new cool podcast studio with video, and people were going to walk by and see it and want to be in the program. Well, no one was walking by because they were in the other part of the campus. So plus the campus is undergoing a major renovation that just started, and it was been on the horizon for 5 or 6 years. And I thought, we need to get out ahead of this. So I put together this big proposal of what we needed to change and how it needed to happen, and we needed to move, and they bought it all, and they said, okay. So we got ahead of the move, and then when people were scrambling for spaces, we already have a nice carved out space that's really kind of laid out perfectly for studios.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what kind of new things you got going in there?
So in addition to some of the same announcing stuff that we've always done, right?
Okay.
We tailor a little bit for other things. But you think about podcasting, it's really, especially audio, it's just radio on demand, really. We've added the video element. So we have our main studio that can be used on air, can be used as an edit suite. It can be used as a video podcasting studio. And then our station could be flipped to another studio with the flip of 2 switches, and we're broadcasting from somewhere else. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So we use similar equipment to what your producers are using here. We also have a program we use called HDV Mixer, which is a video switching software where we can stream live right from that software, which is used by Hubbard and Odyssey and some other stations. So, like I said, a lot of it we were already doing. We just, the name didn't reflect it, but then we just kind of enhanced it with some of the toys.
All right.
Now, is there a lot of stuff that you yourself had to learn that you might not have known?
Oh, sure. I think it's an ongoing thing.
Yes. I mean, continuing to still learn, but like,
Sure.
how comfortable were you with the podcast side of things or like the equipment side of things?
When it was just audio, I mean, you're still trying to attract an audience. You're still trying to hold an audience, right? You're still targeting an audience. So all of that's really the same. You're just adapting it a little bit, really.
Is there
everything
anything that
in
was
radio-
more challenging for you to learn?
I think the video side of it was probably a little bit more challenging for me, but it's just taking the time to sit down and learn it and using the different software. And I mean,
Technology
now
scares me,
the
so.
program we use in our main studio, this HDV mixer program, I just fly around that thing like it's no problem now, and it's pretty easy.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I bet it looks a whole bunch different than whenever I was there. We just got the digital boards whenever I was there.
Yes, and we're on our third version of those boards.
And what year did you go there?
I went there from 2007 to 2010 in a 2-year program, mind you. Yeah, I was
Second year senior?
I was a bit of a shit, I would say is the word for it.
Was he? I want to know. What was Cory like back then?
Oh boy. Oh yeah. No, go ahead. Full weapons.
Any embarrassing stories you can give us that would be perfect.
No, I think someone who is very intelligent like Cory is. He's very opinionated, and authority sometimes didn't sit well with him, I think.
What?
Wow.
That's a shocker, I know.
Even whenever I was mad at him,
Did you
I
put
always
him in
liked
his place sometimes? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
you have more to learn, son. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I've watched.
You
this-
need that more.
I watched this man take my objectively good air takes and rip them apart in ways that I could not dream of them being ripped apart. And I sat there, and it humbled me more than most people could ever humble me. It was great.
Nice.
Well, the first few probably didn't rip you apart. It was probably after you doing the same things that I asked you not to.
Oh,
It's probably where that came in.
Yep. No, I was a turd. It was a hoot. We had
It was
great
a dance.
time.
It was a dance. But I think it worked out. I mean, you had me as a guest on your podcast now.
That is true.
So
yeah.
I have heard that you are an amazing teacher, okay? Because like I said, I wanted to prepare a little bit for tonight's interview, but I didn't know much about you. I kind of looked on your socials, and I was like, okay, well, what's this guy about? And my friend actually works for Hubbard Broadcasting. And so I was like, hey, do you know? Her name is Ashlyn Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And she was like, do I know him? Like, he changed the exact words, changed the trajectory of my life.
Wow.
She said that you were the reason why she actually got into radio and has come, like, now she has her master's, and she works for Hubbard, and she credits her entire career to you.
Oh, well, that's great.
And one of the things she told me that I want to ask a little more about the way you teach your program was that it's the first year is learning, and the second year it's student led, almost like a mentorship thing, like the students teach the other students.
Sure.
Is that what she
It's a
described?
mix.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hands-on right away.
Okay.
So, this fall semester, my first-year students have been sitting in and doing things for about a month now, but they're sitting in with second years as well. So, yes, the first year, a lot of hands-on. You're doing a lot of it yourself, but then people become directors in that second year. Cory was a promotions director. We have a music director and sports director, and you get these
So you
roles.
leave that leadership roles, and you get people that
Sure.
chance. Okay,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool. There's so many aspects though. Like we had a news writing class, we had being on air, we had the technical aspects like audio video editing, the 5-minute shows. You had to make a 5-minute
which
show.
we still do.
You still do the 5-minute shows?
We still do the 5-minute shows, and if you think about the 5-minute shows, it's really just a mini podcast.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
It's
With
just
the-
a little structured, a little more direct. Well, and I think if Cory had that when he was a student, I'm so much more lax on the podcast they create that's going to be on their social media that I kind of let them go.
Oh, wow.
Nothing with Lewis and Clark branding or nothing.
Oh, no, yeah.
Nothing
Oh.
with any mention of us. But but then you try to go, okay, did you really meet your objective? Did you really mean to do this here? And, do you think you lost people 10 minutes in because you went on this rant for 25 minutes about nothing?
Hey, listen, Those rants for that's my
Cory can bring 'em back,
emotional
though.
support rant for 25 minutes that goes nowhere. But what kind of music y'all spinning these days?
We're still spinning it's still in the alternative window.
So alternative indie,
College rocky feel.
Okay.
We're not quite as aggressive as The Point.
Right.
We can be aggressive with the song. It's just not.
So who's your favorite newer artists? Because I know you got favorites.
Oh, wow.
I know you listen to them because you love the Kooks.
The Kooks. I was thinking, is he going to ask me who's been some of the bands I've really liked? over the years?
Absolutely.
And the Kooks, one of them.
I know the Kooks
I'm
are
really
one
kind
of
of a sucker for the Brit rock. Catfish and the Bottlemen, who are also Brit rock.
I do
kinda
like
them
Catfish
too.
and Bellman as well.
But there are a few bands that we're playing now. Band that we just gave away tickets to go see a band called the band Camino. That's really,
I like
really
Camino.
good. We gave away tickets for the time of this filming for an artist called King Princess. That is new.
I like King Princess.
I like King Princess.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known. We'd have given you tickets. We could have recorded another night.
Shit.
The Beaches. It's an all-girl band that I
Yep.
kind of really dig. So
Okay, yeah.
it's kind
I've been spinning a lot of these myself.
Yeah.
So that's, do y'all have any like Boy Genius, any Lucy Dacus?
we have played Boy Genius. Lucy
Okay.
Dacus, no.
Okay, Lucy Dacus is
Didn't
good. You should look her
go
up.
see?
Yeah, I
is
went
that
to
where
go
you
see her
go
for
see?
my wife's
Yeah,
birthday. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
She's
yeah.
that's her CD is just stuck in that car now.
I love that.
Just loves that shit. So
We play a band called Inhaler,
okay,
which the front guy is Bono's son.
I knew about that. And you're a U2 guy. I know you're a
right?
U2 guy.
And one time I mentioned, I said, he's Bono, so Bono for U2. And somebody goes, is there another Bono? I needed to give that reference. But there's been a few. There's been a few bands recently, and that's what I love about it is, and with music meetings that we have,
You
it's
still
not just
do
me.
those.
It's not just me making the call. It's students gathering. It's a rating system. Very
Yep.
rarely have I ever played the veto card and said no, we're not going to play it, or yes, we're going to play it.
Oh God, I remember the veto card, and I'm trying
What
to
is
remember
a
you.
veto?
So the music meetings. And do you still do them the same way?
I still do. Still,
Okay.
I had one today.
That's insane. So basically, the music director brings in some stuff that they got, usually in the mail. I don't know if you still get the mail crate full of CDs.
No, it's more emails.
Okay,
Emails that come in and talking to record labels, and then just research.
that's fair. So yeah, they bring something in. You listen to the first 89 seconds of it.
Approximately 89 seconds of it.
Exactly.
Okay. And then it's a voting system at that point. Whoever shows up, you get to vote, and yeah, and that's how it carries. And you've vetoed, and you've said we're doing it. I don't care if you guys hate it before. And God, there was
There's one band. You may have know the song called "Somebody Told Me," and it's by a band called The Killers. All of my students hated it. And I was like, "You're crazy! This is going to be massive."
They hated it?
I don't remember. That was 2004. That was before.
Yeah, that was
me.
before you.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of music that I picked up from it. I was actually listening to a bunch of old DJs got together and made a Spotify playlist called WLCA Throwback Jams.
Nice.
I was bopping some of those on the way here, and I was like, yep, I remember this. I remember sitting in that studio talking to old Mike Lemons, and he was like, Cory, you can't say that on air. And I'm like, but come on, man. And I remember one time you were like, what would you tell Dale Chapman if he was here right now? Would you say that to him? And I was like, I'd go tell Dale Chapman to go suck eggs. And then I like walked out of your office and farted. It was terrible. That's the kind of person I was.
But you still have that energy, only you would probably.
Oh yeah, no, I'll fart. I'll
Yeah,
fart
you'll fart
wherever I
anywhere.
please. Yeah, like there is no law with me. People earn my respect by knowing what they're doing, and Mike has earned my respect a million times over.
thank you.
Like he's one of the few people who actually got me to shut the fuck up.
And you've been doing this for what, 35 years?
I'm at my 31st year.
31st
at
year.
Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a long time. Going back to you listening to the music and what are we playing nowadays. The one thing I love about my job is I meet new students every year, some who become lifelong friends, and the music keeps me young. I tell them all the time, yes, I'm out of our target demo, but my ear is smack dab in the middle of it. So I just encourage people that don't listen or stopped listening to be young again and listen to some new stuff.
I do listen to your top 30s on Spotify.
Good.
I will say that because like I don't know. I have an old car, but it has a new sound system in it, so I'm just always on that Bluetooth, just bumping whatever I want.
Same. That's
Yeah, it's
there's
kinda,
a power in it that is overwhelming at times.
it is,
with
but
the
I have
streaming.
been listening to like old radio dramas and stuff. So, like on Spotify, can you find like student playlist or student podcasts?
Yeah, you're more likely to find some of those things on YouTube.
Okay.
And there's some on Spotify, but our enrollment is just now rebounding. I mean, my second year class a year ago had 3 students in it.
What?
Yeah. So, well, if you think about it, came out of COVID.
Yeah,
We still haven't changed the name when they started.
there it is.
Students are questioning whether they want to go to college, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
But now we're almost full again. So,
Okay, cool.
my current second year class is probably the strongest I've had in a number of years now. So there's some real talent in
I
that
think
class.
there's only like 12 in ours.
Yeah, our second year class started at 18. Now I think we're about at 11 or 12.
Yeah, there's a lot of washing out between first and second year. It's
Well-
it's a very intensive program.
It is, but you know, a lot of times people will go to college because their parents want them to, and this seems like the coolest, funnest thing to do. And when they get there and they realize that there's some real work.
Oh, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
worth the work though.
Yeah.
Like
I've
it's
heard like Ashlyn said she had a great time in it. I took a broadcasting class actually when my high schools did. We had a dub. This is way back, when we had a dub. I remember we had to do like a fake weather report, and we had to learn how to do the audio and then dub it with our. I was so bad at it. It was so like I'm not. But that's my question. So you said that you now offer like people who aren't in the program can still take the classes. Like if somebody like me, like Joe Schmo, who really, just wants to take like an adult education class can come in and learn more about technology because I am terrified of it.
Sure. So what we have now outside of the program courses is we have, so our products we teach for editing are Adobe products. One is Adobe Audition for audio, Adobe Premiere Pro for video. You can take those courses and get an Adobe certificate. They only offer their certificate, Adobe Official One in video, but by taking these classes, you have at least a certificate from us saying you've completed those. They're podcasting courses to where the first one's just a podcasting course where we talk a lot about the same things about creating a structure and an outline and targeting an audience and doing all those things, but it's audio based. You can then take a video course that goes along with it, which will teach you the software in our main studio. It'll teach you much less expensive software and video hardware you can take out. So there are 3 different certificates that are offered that anybody can pick up. So if you wanted to be an editor, coming and taking, these 2 to 4 classes, you could easily have that.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
awesome. I think we should go to our first break.
Okay.
Yep, and then we will come back and I want to talk about some alumni.
Okay.
Yeah, just what people are doing with the degrees they've gotten.
Great.
Heck yeah. So Nicole, have you enjoyed your fall break?
Oh, I really have. It's been fun.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Oh, I went on a couple of float trips.
Okay.
I went to Riot Fest, and
All right.
I saw Guar.
Yeah, Guar.
Yeah, Guar.
Yeah, we have a print up there.
It was awesome.
Were you there whenever they threatened to
Yeah.
kill Elon Musk?
Yeah, and Donald Trump and T Swivel, which
What the fuck is T-Swivel?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
If I remember correctly, I'm not gonna lie, it was really high. couldn't afford the drinks in Chicago festival prices, but definitely we did good. Yeah.
Illinois. We were talking about alumni, of which
Right.
I'm one. I'm a mids one. You said I was a good journalist.
I think you are.
Thank you. I do my damnedest. But I want to hear about some other people because on the break we were talking about Mike Keith, who is now, what's he doing?
So Mike Keith Teague, or DJ Mike Keith, he was on Z107 for a while in St. Louis. Then he went to Atlanta. And that was his main station was in Atlanta, but he was also on in 3 other markets. St. Louis, 2 of them with Z107 and The Beat. Then he did one in North Carolina, one in Atlanta. But also while he was down in Atlanta, he is a DJ. So he started doing a lot of gigs, and he was noticed by someone from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So they had him start doing Falcons games, and he does Falcons games and Atlanta United soccer games, and just found out that the World Cup's coming to the U.S., and the game's done there. He's going to be an MC and a DJ for that.
Woohoo! Shit, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, we can go back to the national, but locally, Rachel,
Rachel, my ex-girlfriend.
Your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
sorry.
okay. No, that's okay. I haven't talked to her in years.
Did you meet her in the radio program?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I did hear from my friend, and she did mention something about you don't recommend dating within the radio program.
I don't, just because, I've been married for, it'll be 30 years almost.
Oh,
And she's the
congratulations.
greatest thing, and I married up. But if we had to live together and work together, that might work out so well. And I've just seen, now there have been several marriages from the program that
Like after
seem to work
they
out well.
they meet there, but
They
not
meet
like,
there and then they got married afterwards. But yeah, it was just always, I can't stop people, but it's just, I would say you shouldn't. It wasn't a forbidden. No.
Listen, I was not good at authority.
Anyway, she's with the Glover Show
Yup.
on KMOX. But when I started the program, just to get someone an internship in St. Louis was unheard of because most people were going to Carbondale or Springfield. And now we have, I want to say, 3 people at KMOX, which is the holy grail of radio stations. And there, Mike Ryder's over at 101 ESPN. He was a couple of years ahead of you. He's basically runs 101 ESPN. Tanner Hendrickson, who's on 101 ESPN, who's on middays. He's one of ours.
John Weir.
John Weir.
He was in Boston. I think he's back in Kansas City
City.
now.
Yep.
He was he and I did a show together. He was one of my mentors of being cool.
I think John was the mentor to several. I think he was a mentor to Rachel and to Andrew too.
Yeah.
Kevin Berghoff at Y98. He was our first success story. He was one of my first classes, and he's been on the morning show at Y98 for 29 years. We're lucky to have a number of students all over the place, and it fills me with pride when they want to brag that they went to LC. So
I mean, I like to brag about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I was a radio guy. That was one of the coolest chapters of my life.
and we had concert tickets all the time.
All the time. I went to concerts 3 times a week as the promotions
Yeah.
director. Do you remember how many times I'd book bands for interviews, then not tell you? And they would just pop up? You remember that? I used to do that.
Probably a lot. Yeah.
I used to email them and be like, hey, what's up? I'm the promotions director. Not mention anything to Mike and be like,
They love telling stories many years after. It's like, oh, by the way, we did this. Take it.
oh, no. You knew about it.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever the Virgins came in, you were like, the Virgins are coming in? Why? I'm like, I messaged them on MySpace whenever I was stoned. And you were like, Cory, you have to tell me things like this.
I think over the years, most of my students have gotten along with, especially after they gotten older and they go, oh, my bad, right? But there were some we just didn't reach out. Maybe it's personality types or whatever. And those are your biggest regrets, right? Those that you didn't quite connect with or you didn't reach out to. So, Cory, even though Cory gave me some issues, I've always had a ton of respect for what he does and what he knows.
Oh, that's insane. Which reminds me, one of the things that I'm very well known for putting things on blast and drawing attention to things now. Mm-hmm. One of the ways I've learned how to do that, and for better or worse, you're about to get some credit. You gave this really interesting, one of the first days of radio, and it was how a message is received. And it's like, are you making sure it's spoken right? Is the medium good? And how that person receives it, you can't control that. All you can do is create the best messaging you possibly can. And that stuck with me so fucking hard.
And we still teach it. It's if you think about the communication process, there's an originator sending a message over a medium to a receiver. And then the feedback is just that in reverse. And what's the goal of communicating? It's so someone on the other end will attach a like or similar importance to what you're saying or understand what you're saying. Where you take that to mass media is in this intimate conversation. If I'm telling you something and you don't quite get it, your facial expressions or something's going to tell me, I can recraft the message to maybe to where you could get it or ask a question. With mass media, that immediate feedback's not there. So the things that you can control, make sure you control them, because once they're out there, you can't really control them. So that goes back to who's the target audience? What is it that you're wanting them to know? How is it that you're wanting them to know? And are everything that you're doing right? And is their ability to respond? What do you want that response to be? Is it winning a contest? Is it showing up at a sponsor? What is it that you want out of them? Is it clicking a like or sharing it? What is it? That should be your goal. It should always be about the audience. And are you conveying your message in the most effective way?
Do you also kind of maybe teach them like just in mass
Seeing different
communication. Yes, like
perspectives.
seeing different perspectives of how this can be interpreted by your audience.
Anytime you can get the phrase, "Oh, I didn't think of it that way," or "I didn't think of that,"
Yes.
that's kind of what it is. It's
a
but
teachable moment,
sometimes
yeah.
we just speak without even worrying about the ramifications or what it's going to be picked up. It's who is this intended for? Many times people hear messages that aren't intended for them, and you don't need to worry about that so much. Sometimes you do, right? But if you say a message, you've got to make sure. I mean, there's something now that you've got going on and something that you've called out, and I won't get into it. I won't get into the depths of it.
He was trying to.
No, I wasn't. No.
Okay.
But it's a situation where that person just wasn't thinking about what was going to come out, how it was going to come out, and there could be ramifications for something like that. So it's not being so worried about what you think. Speak your mind.
Yeah.
But are you reaching the person that you want to reach, and are they hearing it the way that you want them to hear it? Is the key.
Entirely that. I'm thinking to myself, who is this for? What are the words that they want? What are the ways I can put it? Because Facebook just gives me my demographics now. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, 70% of my audience is women.
That's not surprising. I do look at our sunken press, like our insights sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because I don't know anything about that. So I'm learning about it and kind of, and a lot of most of our views are women, like across the board.
70% of the people who go to my page are women. Most of them are between 34 and 44. It's kind of crazy. But like the demographics, like you also, what are the demographics of WLCA right now? Because I know it's mostly college radio, but are college age people listening to the radio?
That's the problem. Our
Okay.
demographic has gotten older because we have long-term fans. We gave away tickets recently of a new artist that I thought would a band we play called Royal Otis. We played 5 or 6 of their songs. They just came to the factory and they did a great show. We struggled giving those away. But then we gave away Modest Mouse tickets.
Oh, that makes sense.
And those went right away. But those went right away to the long time stayed with us LCA listeners. So it's trying to reach that target demographic, that 18 to 24 that we have that aren't really with us. So how are we bringing them back in? We're doing it through little social media clips, and we're trying to do ticket giveaways with goofy acting out by our students, posting videos. We're using our Spotify playlist, or we're using some targeted advertising to where someone listens to this band, and if they're not on a premium and they get ads, that our stuff pops up there to try to say, hey, let us help you figure out what it is that you want to listen to when you're not on radio and you're listening to something else.
Do you think the vacancy left by KDHX, though, do you think that could be potentially filled by more specialty shows on 89.9?
I'm not opposed to, we've always had specialty shows, right? I just think that for the most part, when we had specialty shows, let's do them late at night on the weekend.
Of course.
Because I felt the listener deserved the consistency of who we are most of the time.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what we always did with the specialty shows, is to keep some consistency. I'm open to having more specialty shows.
You should add
just
a
like we used
true crime thing. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, I know a lot of 18 to 24-year-olds that listen to a lot of true crime podcasts.
We do those, and a student just did one, a true crime, as a part of a class, but that they distribute on their own media. They don't use ours to do it.
What is distributed on the LC's official from the WLCA?
We'll do some of our stuff live that's in studio, that's on air.
Okay.
There, obviously, we run into copyright restrictions sometimes.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Well, here's what stinks is we pay all of those, but YouTube doesn't know that. Or Facebook doesn't know that. So we fight it, and after a while, it'll get put back up. But most of the stuff that our students create, we don't have them create with us in mind. We have them create it with them in mind. Now, recently, students are doing a video podcast on their YouTube page to where they're doing concert calendar that's video-based.
Okay.
New music promo that's video-based. So if you think about the new music promos we had, we're doing those now, but with video. Like today we had a music meeting. Students took all those new ads. They're preparing to do their podcast later in the week to where they're going to play clips of those video now instead of clips of the audio.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I dig that.
And then concert calendar. Here are the bands that are coming to town. Make sure that you listen because I know we have tickets for this show to give away.
That's pretty rad. So you have tickets to all the venues still, right?
We didn't for the longest time. And
okay.
Even when they wanted to, I didn't because I knew we weren't offering them much. You know, I knew that wasn't happening. So when we started changing things and I reached out again, the factory, matter of fact, they were They wanted to trend younger. They found out the average age of their people coming was older than they thought. Reached back out to the pageant, who we had the greatest relationship.
Yes.
Forever. Jesse Raya, who was our contact, passed away about a year and a half ago. So it's remaking those contacts again. So the factory, Del Mar Hall, the pageant, and it's not everything, right? I mean, stuff that really makes sense. If they're going to sell out a building, they don't need our help.
All right, cool. Yeah, because I remember I would go to the pageant like 3 times a week on station tickets and just be like, well, I'm going to see Modest Mouse, Flaming Lips, Hated Brothers. Yeah, that's my whole week. I'm going to go see Brand New. Oh, yeah, well, that's a little iffy.
Do you remember the hard, fast rule that if you use station tickets, you better be in class on time the next day?
I do. I was actually really good at being on class the next day because I didn't sleep because I would do the morning show.
Were you on time? Were you punctual student?
That was not my issue.
Punctual, he'd get his work done. It was just...
I was a dick.
Corey's way. Yeah.
I'm a very and like, this is me after like years of therapy and a Zoloft prescription. Like, you should have seen 18-year-old me. He was a monster.
We would have had some fun. We would have had some fun back in the day.
You think so, but I was also a killjoy. I was a weird mixture of know-it-all killjoy and prick.
We probably would have fist fought at Denny's.
Oh, yeah, we would have fist fought at Denny's. It would have been bad.
Yeah. I'm glad we met when we did, but it is
too.
interesting to hear your Cory stories back in the day.
We've had fun doing a lot of that. And in our new space, our classroom is it's also a working production studio, and it has a stage for a second podcast set, but it could also be adjusted to put live bands in to have that instead of cramming into the tiny studio like we used to.
God,
And you think public can rent that out then or how does that work?
It's not that big. I mean, it's a classroom size, but if we did...
I meant like, so if somebody like from the community wants to start a podcast, not just the students, would they be able to do that?
Actually, so our main studio is it's got 5-6 different cameras in there and the switching equipment, but also in our classroom, we use something more like what's used here with an ATEM switcher and has a different backdrop. And we've just been talking about doing just that. So.
No, I love that because I am not like I said, good with technology. And I used to do stand-up comedy, and was like, maybe I could do a podcast with some friends. Sure. I was like, the work and Missy learned that whole everything. Like, she is amazing, and I don't know how she does it. It's very intimidating to me. And so just the process, even beginning to learn all of the programs that she uses. So it would be amazing for somebody who doesn't really, isn't comfortable with that technology side of things to come in.
The T words got you to that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, you got to do the Johnny. It's an IQ of 170.
But yeah, I love that. You guys should definitely do that.
So was Joey Bradfish there when you were there?
No.
We called him Badfish.
No, we had 2 Brads. We had Brad and we had B-Rad.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, B-Rad was great. My favorite was whenever we had the song Hiroshima by Ben Folds 5, and he said that we bombed the shit out of that country.
He sure did.
And I was like, oh, my God. B-Rad, you can't do that.
Yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble for that.
I never said shit or fuck on air. Not once. Not a single time. I was so good at that. It was it was like I would toe the line so hard, and John would help me. This man 10 years older than me that showed me Elliott Smith and Neutral Milk Hotel, he'd help me be a dick to you. And now he's like this famous radio
And you know
man.
what? He is as complimentary to me as you've been.
Yeah, no, we both love you.
He still, he recorded a commercial for us once, and it was nice to hear you guys say the things now many, many years later.
Oh, we needed the pushback.
It was good, yeah.
We did need a pushback because we were both really funny, decently intelligent egomaniacs. And without somebody to be like, you're not as good as you think you are, but you could be.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah.
Like every dickhead young dude who thinks who loves the sound of his own voice needs a Mike Lemons. Yeah. It's just like that should be in the stars. Just, are you a dickhead who likes the sound of your own voice? You should meet Mike. He'll make you hate it and then make you realize its potential. And even the parts that I hated then, I look back on them like, God damn, dude, I'm just sitting there being like, I have to go through my air checks. And I'm like, duh. Sometimes I miss just talking to a whole bunch of people whose faces I can't see and being like, yeah, you're listening to College Radio's Best 89.9. Here's the Kooks. And then just controlling what they listen to.
Yeah.
We snuck a bunch of songs in there too.
No, I can't imagine.
Yeah, like Into the System itself.
I know.
There's a lot of stuff that me and John would put in there whenever you weren't looking, just right off.
Yeah.
It was good. We had a great time.
And would you believe that I knew about some of it? There's one of those where you go, okay, they think they've got one. Let's let them
pretend. Yeah.
You get, with radio and podcasting, you have to get the most absurdist people.
Well, and then a lot of people that come to us who I have to drag words out of, and they're quiet and shy. I'm like, well, I'm an introvert. I'm like, why are you in?
Why are you?
So it's trying to give them a voice, and it's when they break through, you go, there we go. That's really, really cool, and how they can now communicate.
What you did was masterful work. And it took years to realize it. No, I'm dead serious. It took years for me to be like, oh, Mike Lemons is a genius.
Oh, no, come on now.
No, seriously.
Another thing that Ashlyn pointed out was that sometimes they're not, that's not what they're meant to do, but you kind of would also direct them to something, finding what they are good at and encouraging them to do that and still have that experience of doing the radio program.
There's an incredible responsibility to where these students are coming to me to be trained to hopefully have careers. That's a huge responsibility, right? To go, all right, let's try to make sure we navigate this to where, and students who thank me for the careers, I often tell them, your success is your own. All I did was kind of open a door, show a way. So, when John Weir would go off about how great those, John, your success, man, is your success. You did that. But yeah, you can't just go, unlike a gen ed teacher, right? Where they have to be in that class and you know them for that hour, 3 days a week, or hour and a half, 2 days a week. We became a family. We saw each other all the time.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So, I mean, they're not my kids, but in a way you kind of go, man, these are my kids.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, man, wish Mike was my dad. God damn.
I'm an orphan. I wish he was my dad, too, now.
Yeah, no, you knew how to, find the good that people were up to and, really, just, I don't know, you made me promotions director. Think about this, right? I'm 19, going on 20. And he puts me in charge of station events, updating the concert calendar, getting band interviews, doing ticket giveaways. Now look at me.
You chose to make
this
his
man
head
had an
even
eye.
bigger, sir. That you chose to make his head even bigger, which we appreciate, though.
I mean, so you did this thing.
I think a little responsibility, something bigger than himself. Something to work
towards.
Yeah,
you deconstructed my ego and made it more of a tool than it was a hindrance. I have been
oh dude, I know
in some stuff.
And I've told you over the years that your writing I think is great. Some of what you're doing now, I think needs to be called attention to some of what's happening.
I go a little hard in the paint.
Right. I mean, if you were writing for me and I was an editor, I'd probably be like, Cory.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah,
There'd be a few times when I even read things and go, Cory.
Missy does. She does.
Right.
Yeah, Missy does.
She is sane because, man, there's sometimes, I know one time I wrote in one of my columns something that I probably, I'm really glad she took that out because I was like, that was a good call. That would have been taken very, very poorly by the general population.
Best copy editor I've ever had. And again, my editor won a Pulitzer Prize, so that's crazy. Right. So
and is the story, is the announcement, is the whatever you do, is it for your audience or is it for you? And if there's ever a time where you can go, oh man, that was more for me than it was for my audience, I think that's worth, I'm not saying you've done that. I'm just saying that's where you kind of check.
Oh, I've done that.
That's where you check.
No. I have a Mike Lemons voice in my head that checks that. In your program, I met some people who just, not just you, John changed my life. Rachel changed my life. Fred, who's now an artist on Cherokee, he changed my life. But yeah, so so many people became such integral parts of my life that it's 89.9 was
and many
pivotal.
Of you students have become integral parts of my life too. I mean, I've been in 3 weddings that were students, and I mean, there's just things where you go, okay, the experience for me, you got to meet all those students in your year or two there. I get to meet them every year.
Oh, that's
so I've learned so much from students. So I really am the one who's blessed who gets the opportunity to meet all these new people and try to help figure out what it is that they want to say and how they want to say it.
What about you? What'd you do?
Lately, it has been, well, I mean, we were helping out with a food drive. We decorated a bunch of boxes.
You guys did a great job on that, by the way. You guys.
We had some help. We had some really cool help.
Like the Pokemon one.
That was me. That was
I knew
all
that.
me. The Gotta Feed 'Em All. That was me. Well, we also had help from Lumi, who's the artist of the month at Mavis.
Yes. I was looking at
with Paisa Rainbow
I was looking at
Collective.
some of their stuff the other day when I was getting my hair done, and I was like, oh wow, there's some good stuff. I want one of the framed ones. They have framed and unframed ones.
Oh, I got one of the framed ones. Yeah, Tabs really liked it. It goes well with our living room redesign. We redesigned our
Did
living
you?
room.
I love your
Yeah,
guys' house.
Paula from Enjoy Grafton gave us a new couch. I know.
Paula's my favorite. I love Paula.
Well, I mean, it's a used couch, but it's new to
it's
us.
new to you.
It's royal blue. I've napped on it. It was great.
Nice.
Love that shit. And then I guess there's the obvious. I think I pissed off the Roper's Regal Beagle a little bit. I mean, there is that.
Maybe a little bit.
It's been a hoot. Oh boy, that's been a hoot. All right, so we're back with our final segment with Mr. Mike Lemons here. Nicole, you had a question?
It was just actually piggybacking off of kind of what you were going into earlier, which is we've talked a lot about how you have impacted your students. And I'm not asking you to name favorites or anything like that, but obviously it's Cory.
No, God, no.
Hands down.
But is there anything specifically that you have learned from your students? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I learned something from each and every one of them, and I think that's the gift that I get from doing what I do is different walks of life. I mean, Cory came from a different background than I did, or Keith did, or somebody else did, and it's so I find I think I have this ability because of a sales background and teaching for 30 years. I have the ability to kind of read people or situations pretty well, and a lot of that comes from listening. So just to listen to students and hearing their experiences, then go, well, normally this would be my response, but if I grew up like that, my response probably wouldn't be that. So what do I need to learn, right? What do I need to learn to figure out, how this person might process something? Because that's what it is to try to get through to each student, is to go, what makes them tick and what's their background that makes them that way. And it's not just serious stuff, right? It's fun, or somebody tells me about a recipe, or it could be anything that I'm going to be with this person. If they stick it out for 2 years, might as well get to know them. And I try to create an atmosphere that I think is comfortable so people can thrive. Most of the time, the hindrance to good communication is the defense mechanisms we build to protect ourselves. I often tell students, let's tear that down. Let's make you feel comfortable, because that same wall that protects you, that it impedes you from going forward. So we work on that a lot, and just to see those students grow and how they do it is what's great for me. But I learn probably twice as much from my students as I give to them, I would think. Just because, and that's not just a line.
I wish I had a teacher.
No. I mean, and why wouldn't you take the chance to experience that or to learn from them instead of just, what? I mean, I've learned a ton from Cory. What
the hell? What the
I
heck?
have too, Cory.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't give him too big of a head, but I like to compliment him.
I could never write like he does.
No,
never.
No.
It's a curse,
I'd much rather speak than write.
See, I'd much rather write than speak, but I'm slowly starting to learn how to write.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of my mentor.
I have
even though he
mentees
doesn't
now.
want to be.
That's awesome.
I have
I'm forcing him to be my mentor.
There's some people like 10 years younger than me that one of them takes pictures for us staff. One of them is a reporter at the Telegraph. I'll randomly he does different, we don't do what the Telegraph does. So I get tips on things, and I'll send him numbers. I'll make sure he's connected to whoever he needs. I love seeing young talent come in, and because to me, I want to see people do better than I did. I want to see because it's okay, imagine if you didn't have all the shit in your way that I had, right? How far would you go? Yeah. Already this guy, he got an exclusive interview with J.B. Pritzker about the Staunton immigration thing. 13 minutes, one-on-one. And I'm like, dog, it took me 2 years to get anything like that. And you've been at this for 6 months. I'm so happy.
That's awesome.
Just
You're a good mentor.
Seeing somebody grow because of their own ability and the assistance you can give them. I get it. I get why you feel like that, because I'm just holy shit, I love this.
And you love seeing it. There's responsibility that goes with that too, right? And you feel like you have this really strong desire to make sure that they do well and do it right. Or do it in a way that works for them, but it puts them on the right path.
Exactly. I love seeing people get encouraged to do things that they're afraid to do, that they're actually really good at?
For me, I think I'd lean a lot on building confidence. If you have confidence, if you're not afraid, then you're afraid to take a step no matter what direction it's in. So that's what we work on a lot that first year, is to just build some confidence, momentum, and being a good speaker, a good communicator, whatever. And once you start doing that, things before you would have never thought, I'll walk that way or take that step, you're like, what the heck, I'll do it. You know, that's
it's very true.
yeah.
That's how I got into stand-up comedy. I was terrified of it because I don't like public speaking. It terrifies me. And then my voice cracks and I get really nervous and I run away. So that's why I really was like, I like writing jokes and I want to perform them. And I was really not that good at it at first. And even when I stopped doing it, I still wasn't the best I could have been if I would have stuck with it. But I was a lot better than when I started out.
That's exactly how radio goes.
Yeah.
I mean, in anything, you got to get good at it. You got to practice, just like that little speech you guys said in the beginning. You got to keep on doing it and keep on repetition.
Oh, yeah, no, but like you'd have to time it. Like there was like a 5-minute one and a 2-minute one. You'd have to.
I mean, that's what we had to do. We had to, I mean, you had to, like, for like a 5-minute set, I mean, you had to like take your phone out and pretty much work a joke up and, into that time frame. It's hard doing that. Like it is.
So what's on the horizon for anything that you're involved with, be it the radio station, Mike Lemons himself?
Let's start with the college. I think they're having to adapt to new education needs to change. And something our current president, Dr. Trask, is very big on is competency-based education. That's the old term. The new term is pace, but it's learning at your own pace. It's not necessarily starting a semester in August and finishing in December. If you can start in September and finish it in 4 weeks and be done with it, then you get the credit and move on. Or if you complete 2 of the 3 sections of the course, but you didn't finish it, you don't necessarily, get an F or have to retake the class over again. You could just take that 3rd section. Or it's like education on demand. It's how you want it, when you want it, is kind of how education is going, trying to break down the old way that we think of it in semester-based and courses being a certain length. And, we've already done a lot of that with web-blended courses to where sometimes you meet and sometimes you just do things online. We learned a lot. All of us learned a lot during COVID and what we could do and how to do things better. So for the college, it's adapting to that. For our program, it's building it back up to, at one time, Cory, we were the radio station, the program, we were the shed.
I know.
It was one of those things to where the station was loved. Our program was running great. And when that dipped, it's an adopted child, but it's my oldest child. So now it's trying to nurse it back to health before I move on. And, I could see, whether it's moving into other aspects of the college or doing things outside of just education, that could be a possibility. But I won't entertain any of that until this oldest adopted child is healthy. So there's that. I like to golf. So. But you always wonder if I feel thankful. I had a great career. I've done it for 31 years. I live 2 miles from my work. I got to meet a ton of great people like Cory and other students, and I've had a lot of experiences. I've been to probably 700 plus concerts in my life. So there's a lot. People think that number's crazy, but I brought the 500 number up to Jesse Raya from the pageant 10 years ago.
People would kill for that.
Yeah, no.
So I've had a lot of that, but you still wonder, even though this has been great, what has it kept me from doing? What else could I have done? Some of the things I'm starting to ask myself. So we're still in this role for a couple more years, but then probably something else after that.
Interesting. Well, if you ever retire, you should just have like a big old reunion for all of us, and we'll just come party.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You'll see some.
You won't have to buy yourself a drink for the whole night, I'm sure. You're going to have students buying you.
For sure.
Fine for you.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a hoot.
Well,
I would love to see the
I'm not one to throw parties for myself, but who knows?
I'll throw you
we'll
a party.
see. There we go.
You would not. You would have no idea what would hit you if I threw you a party. All right. So, how can people find WLCA, College Radio's Best, 89.9?
So, you can do it the old school way by turning on your radio station if you're in the Metro East St. Louis area, 89.9 FM. We also are on an app called Radio FX. It's a pretty cool app to where you can find a ton of college radio stations across the country.
Okay.
You can go sit and listen to University of Pittsburgh. I think I was listening the other day, or some others. But you go to the Radio FX app, you download that app, select us as a favorite. Once you click it, start streaming us automatically, and there's a wheel that links you to all of our social media. You can send messages right on that app. Or on our website, WLCAFM.com. You can stream us live from there. And then, of course, go find all of our socials.
Hell yeah.
There's so many ways to contact people nowadays. It's incredible. I do have one more question before we wrap up, though. The Christmas thing. I've been hearing about this.
Oh, the 89 hours of
89.
Christmas.
So we haven't done it since COVID. But
You haven't? Are you going to bring it back this year?
I think we will. Again, part of the 89 hours of Christmas, students would go out and find advertisers or find people to support it, to make a donation. And then we would take kids from the Boys and Girls Club on a shopping spree.
That's what I
Yep.
heard. Yeah.
So
That's really cool.
two students would spend 89.9 hours straight in the studio. They would start broadcasting at 6 o'clock on a Thursday night and finish at 11:54 a.m. on Monday. Just a radio marathon, one old school radio marathon. They slept in our studios and voice tracked overnight. And
They were up overnight.
oh yeah, and then
yeah.
we'd bring food in, and people would sponsor, and then we'd run little clips that say, "You're listening to 89 Hours of Christmas from all of us at XYZ Bank. Happy holidays." So we would sell those, and then we would take, we'd let the Boys and Girls Club determine which of their members got to go, and then our students would go shopping with their students. A lot of kids would buy themselves stuff, right? Toys. That one year when the boy he had a list, something for his sister, something for his mom. Got all the way done and realized he hadn't got his grandma anything, but he had saved money because if you remember, Target had a snack bar. He saved like $5 to go get a hot dog or something. He wanted to be able to buy something from that, and he realized he hadn't got his grandma anything. He saw a poinsettia, and it was $5, and so he spent his last $5 to get his grandma something. So it was stuff like that, and you make you go, man, let's keep doing this. COVID kind of changed that a little bit, and I want to make sure the advertiser is getting something of worth. So once I feel comfortable that they're going to get the recognition they need by being a part of it, we'll probably do it again.
Love to hear that.
You guys bring it back. That's a really good idea.
That's actually how I got my start. I got the auction for win a show. So I got to DJ about an hour or two of 89.9 whenever I was a junior or senior in high school. And I was like, I want to do this. This is the shit I want to do.
Yeah, we bring bands in and play live in our hallway. And I don't know if you know the band, the St. Louis band Ludo. They played in our hallway.
Yeah.
There have been several other bands through the years that have played in our hallway.
You
during
can find
the 89 hours.
Bear Hug jerseys on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yep, that was from my era. Like back in the day, there was a Bethalto band called Bear Hug Jersey and One Lone Car. You can find their 89 Hours of Christmas live show on Spotify.
That was Aaron Kellum, right? Was the lead singer?
That was Aaron Kellum.
He's doing his thing in California. We just did a segment on him. He's written songs for shows that's been on American Idol and Love Island, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, he's been on a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Do you, in the future, do you think 89.9 will ever do anything besides like college radio? Like, do you think you'll do news, politics, talk radio, stuff like that?
We teach student news. Students do newscasts. We don't ever let it be opinion based. Simply because, and here's why, this is not a cop-out, but, we're supported by taxpayers. And we have taxpayers that believe this or believe that, or are religious or not religious, or, you know what I mean? We're very light on opinion when it comes to politics, just because I'm not saying that our student body aren't well versed in politics. I'm just fearful that sometimes it would come off not very well researched, or something would come out of their mouths that they didn't think about. And we still teach them how to write. And with their podcast, I want them to do whatever they want. I mean, if they want to do a podcast and it's very, very racy, very, very political driven, very, very what? That's on them. That's why they put it on their stuff. If they wanted to do stuff for us, then it comes under the same parameters that you do your radio shift or you do something else. It's got our branding and our name. So
That makes sense.
All right, I have one last question before we go, and it's a personal one. It's funny.
all right.
Do you remember the April Fool's Day that John and I completely did behind your back?
You're going to have to remind me.
Farmer John and the Possum, we replaced all the music with country music.
Oh, yes.
We made up fake commercials. We had planned this for like a month and a half.
Yes.
And then just out of nowhere, we just threw on country music. We didn't tell you we were going to do it. We just did it. It was Farmer John and the Possum. And like in the middle of it, there'd be like existential breakdowns of like how much we hated having to do it. We're like, I don't want to do it no more. Johnny's like, shut up, Possum. You gotta. It was horrific.
What was your reaction to that?
I think you actually loved it. I think that was one of the times you let us do it.
I mean, at that point,
It's already done.
Yeah, it was 3 hours of country music that we had.
but it was well thought out. It was on April Fools, and it was flipping the script, and some of the humor I didn't always get.
Oh, you
humor,
hated
right?
our humor.
But no, I mean some of that. Okay, they didn't hurt anybody. They didn't break.
It's really
any rules.
college-esque.
We had so many hate callers that we stopped answering the phone. We were like, one of them is probably going to be Mike. Let's not answer it. And he's like, nope, Farmer John and the Possum. Yeah, we had planned for that for a month behind.
We had it. We had one time. If I can add this last story, students play a prank on me. I was going out of town, and sometimes students like to hang out in my office. I'm like, no one sit in my chair, and especially don't sit in my chair and fart in my chair if I'm gone. So I'm gone. So I'm like, off limits. No one sits behind the desk. So I come back, and there's a note with a CD in my seat. And it said, while you were gone, I had vacation too. So you put the CD in, they took my chair hostage, took it all over to St. Louis, took it to Casey, had Casey Jackson into it. They went to the zoo and had a picture of it like with a giraffe over the top of it. And
That's actually way better than your prank. I'm sorry. That's way
No,
better.
that's way
than your
better.
prank.
That's amazing.
Yes, I love
That's
this.
so beautiful
it
and
was
thought
called
out.
Chair St. Louis. They took it to a bar and it was playing pool with a bar stool. So they took this chair out.
Did those kids, like in that class that did that, did they go out and do great things? Because I feel like they probably did.
One did. One, I think, ended up in jail at one point. But their class prank in my office was full of balloons.
What year was this?
The balloons. Well, the Chair St. Louis is before you. That would have probably been 04 or 05.
Okay.
The balloons probably about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. But it's one of those things where you look at that and go, okay, do my students like me or not like me? When they go to that effort to fill my office with balloons, is it because they like me or they don't like me?
Well, did they have to clean them up or did you?
No, they left them. I had to clean them all up.
All right, Mike. Well, I think we have to call it a night.
All right, well,
Let's
thanks
hope
for
we
having me.
salvage our.
Thank you. It was nice
Thanks for
meeting you.
coming out, man. Like, it's awesome. It's not every day I get to see like a teacher who changed my life for the better and be like, hey, guess what? I'm not a shit anymore. I mean, I'm still a shit. But I'm like, you know, a more tolerable
Better
shit.
shit.
A
You're
better
better
shit. I'm a
shit.
polished turd. I've been put in the turd tumbler. I like
you very
hitting
much.
on the turd tumbler. Thank
You've surpassed the poop bucket.
Oh yeah, we're past the poop bucket. We're in the turd tumbler.
But the thing is, though, even if you use ChatGPT for that or any kind of AI, like it still sounded like a dumb guy. So maybe, like, did he like prompt them to be like, make it sound like me, but not me?
Probably. But hey, we have our guest
Yeah,
here.
we gotta go.
Hell yeah.